Hello, everybody! Welcome back to Would You Like to Run an Idle Cafe 2, Part 6 on my stream. Let's start right in, shall we? The next day after our shift at the Seaside Cafe, the four of us head to the beach to commence filming our music video. Our last filming session didn't go particularly well, but everybody feels invigorated after their time in Paradise Splash. Ichigo launches into the dance with newfound zeal. She turns and spins and twists, her golden pigtails streaming about her long twin banner, like twin banners. Her green eyes, meanwhile, are shining with excitement. Miyuki, meanwhile, is struggling to keep pace with Ichigo. She's yet to master the rhythm of this dance, but she's made her clear progress. She has made clear progress following her earlier attempts. Her smile wavers and she keeps falling out of steps with the others, but she doesn't give up. I can see that she's trying her very best. Miyuki, not on the level of pro idol, but I can edit some of her clumsiness out in post-production. I'll cut out the shots of her looking at Ichigo awkwardly, and she is stumbling. I'll focus on close-up of Ichigo or Ku instead. Video editing sure is handy if you have enough footage. There's a lot you can do with it. Hold on one sec. To do with it. Ku, for her part, is cool and calm as always, perhaps overly so. While Miyuki smiles wavers, Ku doesn't attempt to smile at all. She has the dance fully memorized and she doesn't make any mistakes, but that blank look on her face remains fixed throughout. If she weren't moving so gracefully, she'd remind me of a zombie. That pale skin of hers, which contrasts against her black swimsuit, certainly puts one in mind of the undead. The sun might be hot, but Ku's skin looks cool and hard like marble. She isn't even sweating. It's kind of impressive, but also kind of creepy. Then again, that's Ku all over. Oh, watch YouTube try to fucking hit me with a adult fucking thing here, like they did in my last video, but I won that one. Alright, guys. Sorry. Ichigo turns to Ku and Miyuki after the three of them have concluded their 7th, or is it the 8th, run-through of their song and dance routine. Ichigo thinks... I think we're getting somewhere. You're both doing a great job. Do you really think so? Yeah. You come on in leaps and bounds, Mayu. You're still a bit clumsy, but you haven't fallen over yet. Not that being clumsy is such a bad thing. Clumsy girls are actually pretty popular. Men will want to swoop in and save you, like brave knights. In fact, Ku smiles. It's the first smile I've seen from her all morning. I want to swoop in and save you myself. I will rescue you, then lock you up in a tower so nobody can hurt you. Then you will belong to me. Miyuki shudders and wraps her arms around her torso. Miyuki's face is slightly flushed with exhilaration, and I can see droplets of salty sweat beadings upon her cleavage. If I come out with a line like that, Miyuki would probably slap me across the face. Tell Ku to stop saying such weird things, Ichigo, Naoya. Am I being weird? Ku frowns. I only meant to compliment you. Saying you want to lock me up isn't a compliment, you dummy. Really? But I read an Autumn game where that happens. One of the male love interests falls for the heroine so deeply he shuts her away in a cage. It's very romantic. Isn't that what women want? Don't ask me. I'm not a woman. What's your verdict, Ichigo? Well, let me see. Ichigo ponders her hands held together at her front. I'm a big old bundle of energy, you see, so I don't know if I'd like being shut away in a tower or in a cage. I wouldn't have much room to stretch or jump or run about. It sounds kind of stifling. If it was a really, really hot guy who locked me up, though, it might not be so bad. Say, for instance, if it was you, Naoya, I wouldn't mind if you wanted to possess me. If you want a man to make you feel special, you should ask him to take you out for dinner. Lock people up is a no-go. Mayuki harumphs, her arms folded across her chest. Why were you playing an autumn game anyway, Ku? It's not like you. I was curious. I know a little of romance, but this song is all about love. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to present the subject matter properly in my dancing without a deeper understanding of it. I want to know what normal girls are interested in. They don't seem to like newt eyes and frog toes like I do. Of course they don't. That stuff is strange. It's seriously weird. And being locked up in a cage isn't? No, that's strange too. I don't want Odom games I don't know what Odom games you were reading exactly, but you ought to expunge everything you learned from it out of your head. It's teaching you warped notions of romance. Very well, I will try to forget all that game taught me. But if locking people up is not romantic, what is? Ku glances at me, her lips pierced. Would you mind showing me, Naoya? I want to learn what love feels like. Why are you asking me? Because I like you. Wow, that's pretty straightforward. Don't you like me? Ku's expression falls. Won't you be my teacher? I promise I will be a very eager pupil. So saying, Ku slides the strap of her swimsuit down her pale shoulder. I swallow. For a girl who knows nothing about romance, she can be pretty seductive when she wants. Is she trying to make me sweat on purpose? It's already hot enough without this display. Knock it off, Ku. Miyuki seems to agree with me, because she grabs hold of Ku's loose swimsuit strap and yanks it back into place. We're supposed to be filming a music video, not an adult one. Anyone could see you out here. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You say that, yet you are the one blushing, not I. Why? Shouldn't that be obvious? I'm embarrassed for you. We're getting all kinds of stares. Let them stare. I don't care. Their opinions are irrelevant. I am accustomed to being treated as an outcast. The only person's opinion I care for right now is Naoya's. That's very brave of you. But you should care about others think just a little. Oh, what others think just a little. Law exists for a reason, and I don't want you causing a public scandal. It'd be kind of bad for Sweet Shoreline's reputation if word got out one of our members was caught stripping off on the beach. You see, you might even be arrested. Now get your act together. We need to keep filming. Oh, alright. Cool acquaintances with a small sigh. I was hoping to learn more about love, but I suppose I will have to postpone that for now. Please do, for now. Getting this video film takes a top priority. Alright guys, let's do this. We're on the home stretch now. I'm sure we can do it. I believe in us. Let's go! The four of us hang out on the beach for a couple of hours more. I film reams and reams of footage before Ichigo decides we have enough to finish up the music video. With that, our filming session has been concluded. We've done it. With the hurdle out of the way, we decide to celebrate at the local karaoke parlor. We arrive there in the evening, a little after 5. I'd be alright booking a room for only a brief spell, but as Ichigo says, we're supposed to be celebrating. It's fine to splurge, right? Upon Ichigo's instances, we booked the booth until midnight. It's pretty expensive, but my wages from the cafe should cover it. With that taken care of, we head to our booth. Ichigo orders some drinks, and they arrive 5 minutes later. She takes her glass of cool, refreshing grape juice, then clinks it against her own. She takes her glass of cool, refreshing grape juice, then clinks it against my own. Cheers, Naoya. Thanks for all your help. Don't mention it. You're the one who did all the singing and dancing. Cheers. 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 The four of us then begin to drink. I'm not that thirsty, which might be expected, though it was hot. Which might be expected, though it was a hot day. I didn't have to overexert myself with a complicated dance routine. I take only a few sips of my drink, savoring its tartness. Ichigo, meanwhile, downs hers in one. She practically chugs it, then slams the glass back down on the table with a resultant thud. Ah, that really hit the spot. She giggles. Now, let me see what songs they've got. I feel like singing something really fun and upbeat. I'm surprised you still want to sing. You've been putting performances on at the Seaside Cafe every other day. Aren't you tired of it? Tired? Not me. The word's not in my dictionary. Are you safe? Or are you sure? Why did I say safe? Well, Ichigo demeanors a coy smile on her face. Maybe I do get burned out from time to time. But I'm alright now. All my energy come flooding back to me. I'm ready to give it like 110%. Ichigo flicks through the tracks listings on the karaoke machine as she speaks. Eventually she settles upon a track that catches her eye, then selects it. She picks up a mic, which was lying on the table, then holds it aloft. Let's get the show on the road. And so it is. With the announcement, Ichigo begins to sing. Her voice fills the karaoke booth. It's loud and confident, practically humming with virtuality. I watch her, nursing my drink and marveling at the inexhaustible energy. She might be a huge Idol fan, but there's no denying she makes a good idol herself. When she isn't stressed out and anxious, her face positively glows. I'm captivated by her. In the dark, dreamy karaoke booth, she stands out like a shining star. I'm a bit worried about all the work that needs to be done, though I have all the footage of Sweet Shoreline's performances recorded on my camera. I still need to edit it. I can't post a music video otherwise. I'd like to get that done tonight, if possible, but for now, I'm happy watching Ichigo. Miyuki and Ku join her for a few duets, and I find myself clapping along with them. I don't sing myself. I can't sing. But the atmosphere is electric. Ichigo strikes a cute pose when she sings, then turns to look at me. How am I doing, Naoya? You're doing great. I reply earnestly, with a thumbs up. You're amazing, Ichigo. Aw, shucks. I'm nothing special. Really, you're just saying that. No, I'm not. I mean every word. That's obvious you're having fun. And when you have fun, I have fun too. This might sound kind of corny, but, well, I smile abashed and rub the back of my neck with one hand. I can't not smile when I'm with you. Huh? Really? Ichigo blinks. Her cheeks turn pink. I'm super happy to hear that, of course. But you didn't smile at me all that much back in high school. You always shook me away, like I was some kind of annoying bug. I was afraid I was a little too much. I know I can be kind of aggressive at times, hee. Yeah, you can, but I don't think it's a bad thing. If you hadn't been aggressive, we might not be friends right now. It's only because you pursued me as relentlessly as you did that we were able to rekindle our relationship. You don't regret it? Of course not. I'm glad I'm here with you right now. And Ku and Miyuki too, of course. We've all been pretty stressed, so it's nice to let off steam. Finally, I feel like I can relax. It doesn't matter how much work awaits me this evening, or how anxious I am about the Seaside Cafe success, or otherwise. I guess it didn't work. Oh, there it is. You see Nightbot's finally chatting. Let's go, baby. That's funny. Labot works. It doesn't matter how much work awaits me this evening, or how anxious I am about the Seaside Cafe's success, or otherwise. Right now, in this dimly lit karaoke booth, it's just Ichigo, Ku, Miyuki, and me. The world has shrunk in on itself to accommodate only us four. All our problems have been left outside. They cannot reach us here. Surrounded by the swell of frantic pop music and the electric atmosphere. I might as well revel in it while I can. Revel in it while I can. Who knows how long it will last? I'm gonna test it on me. See what happens when I say it. I might have to fix it, so that's why I'm looking. Time passes and Ichigo continues to hog the mic. She sings through a number of upbeat pop tracks, her voice getting progressively louder as the evening wears on. She pauses only to order more grape juice from the front desk, which she chugs as though it's aqua vita. Oh, mine's not working. That's why, hold on, it's not. Damn it, Bobby. Let me check my shit, hold on. I'll have to check it after. I, meanwhile, am still on my very first glass. As the minutes, then the hours trickle by, I begin to notice a strange change settle upon Ichigo. Her face is starting to look distantly flushed, and she's beginning to slur her words. She sways from side to side as she sings, and occasionally she hiccups. Is she getting drunk? I can't tell if she's intoxicated or the atmosphere, or if there's something sinister in the drink she ordered. Ichigo's always been energetic, but her behavior right now is... It's the same thing. Woo! That was so freaking awesome. I'm on fire today. Let's go again, one more time. I want you. I need you. I love you. This is definitely outside the norm. Ichigo's dancing so violently to the blaring pop track, her clothes are getting rumpled. Her jacket's starting to fall down around her shoulders. Ichigo's skin is flushed with sweat, but she doesn't stop her from throwing herself into the song. She grips the mic in one hand and moves from side to side, her pigtails fluttering. I'm surprised she can still sing, given how much she's bouncing about. Isn't she out of breath? I feel obligated to keep an eye on her, in case she crashes and collapses. I don't want her knocking her head against the table. I'm glad she's having fun, but... Jeez. I'm not upset that Ichigo's hogging the mic. I'm not one for singing, but wouldn't it kill her to let Ku or Miyuki have a go? I'm worried they might be getting bored of watching her. Move over. I think Ku and Miyuki would sing more quietly than Ichigo is. She's belting so loud my eardrums are ringing. What if they burst? We've only been in the booth an hour, and I feel exhausted already. Hey, Ku, Miyuki, are you... I turn, a query upon my lips, but it soon dies the moment my gaze falls upon that of my companions. Oh, shit. Now, I understand why Ku and Miyuki have been so quiet. They've been expressing themselves just fine during the last couple of minutes, without the aid of a microphone. They would just get it. That would just get in the way of their Whatever it is they're doing. No, really, what are they doing? Ku and Miyuki are sitting upon the couch, their bodies pressed close. Miyuki's leaning in, her cheeks flushed rose pink. A chocolate biscuit sticks clamps between her lips. Ichigo impromptuously ordered a whole bunch of snacks when he arrived at the karaoke parlor, along with the grape juice. These chocolate biscuit sticks must be from that. I said something to my buddy. Sticks must be from that. The colorful cardboard packaging these biscuits came in lies on the table, its top torn open. The aluminum wrapper inside is similarly torn, the remaining biscuit sticks spilling across the table. But no, that's not important right now. Ku and Miyuki's newfound closeness, if you will, is much more captivating. Miyuki's mouth is only inches away from Ku's. Her eyes are half lidded, and her dark eyelashes are trembling. Were it not for the biscuit sticks poking out of her lips, it would look like she's leaning in for a kiss. If this were a scene in manga, there'd be lilies blooming in the background right now. Miyuki looks shy, but Ku's expression is cool as ever. She doesn't even blink as she meets Miyuki's glance, her own lips pursed. What is it, Miyuki? Are you sick? I'm glad Ku's asked that. I've been wondering that myself. Your face is very flushed. Are you being tormented by wicked spirits? No, I'm fine. Miyuki squeaks out in response, her voice little more than a whisper. She certainly doesn't sound fine. I can see her chest rising and falling with anxious breaths, her cheeks pinker with each passing second. Ichigo, of course, remains oblivious to the scene. She's too busy singing. Heavy rotation. Okay, make that screeching. Is that the most fitting BCM for this soft, sweet, romantic scene between two girls? But neither Miyuki nor Ku are paying Ichigo much attention. They don't seem to have realized that I'm staring either. They're focused solely upon one another. I just, want to share these biscuits with you. They taste really good. So, Miyuki snuffles a little closer to Ku. Their knees bump against one another. Won't you try one? I want to see what you think. I already know what they taste like. Ku shoots down Miyuki's oh-so-kind offer. Her expression enigmatic. They're a popular snack. I've been eating them since I was a child. You should know that. We've shared these biscuit sticks before. Oh, right. I guess we have. Miyuki giggles shyly. Her chest rises and falls with nervous laughter. The biscuit sticks in her mouth bobbling. It's surprising she's able to have such a salient conversation with this biscuit stick lodged in her mouth. She isn't stumbling over her words at all. It's just, well, you see, it's been a while since we ate these snacks. These snacks. So, wait. Slow down a sec. Shench? Snacks? What sort of words are those? They sound like real words, sure, but Miyuki's putting the emphasis on all the wrong syllables. I think she might be adding a few extra syllables in there, too. I don't think this casual mangling of her mother tongue can be blamed on the sticks of biscuits in her mouth. Something else must be at play here. Has she fallen under the influence of the mysterious grape juice, like Ichigo? I thought we could try them together. It's nostalgic. Miyuki sways. Her eyes look glazed and unfocused. Her cheeks are red like two twin cherries. I want to share it with you, and I want you to know how much I appreciate your friendship. Please, take a bite of the biscuit. I want to make you smile. If I wanted to eat a biscuit, I could get one myself. Ku reaches for the open package of biscuits on a table, but no. Miyuki takes hold of Ku's hands, her eyes wide with desperation. Ku, no. She sniffles. Don't break away from me like that. We're supposed to be friends. I like you, so I want to share this biscuit with you. I want you to take it from my mouth. That will prove that we are real friends. It'll make me happy. I wonder. Ku frowns. You're not acting like yourself, Miyuki. I fear this must be the work of a foul spirit. I ought to exorcise it. Now, where did I put my holy water? You have holy water? Ku nods. I put it on ePay. It comes from the grotto of Massabili in Lourdes, France. I spent 3 months worth of my salary on it, but it was worth it. It is the real deal. With this purified water, I will cleanse you of the wicked demon which holds you in its influence. Then you will return to yourself, your usual self, and you will put this all behind you. No, Ku, you don't understand. Understand. This is my usual shelf. This is the real me, without any preserves, no prebescence. Did she mean pretenses? If so, that's pretty off the mark. Far off the mark. I'd expect better from an honor student, even if she is drunk. I like you, Ku. I like you a lot, and I just want you to accept my feelings. I'm a shy, awkward girl. I can't be honest with myself. It's a bad habit, I know. But I'm gonna be honest now. I'm taking a stand. You're so good to me, Ku. You were my first friend and my best friend. I like you so much. So, Miyuki leans in closer, her eyes fall shut. Please accept my friendship and all my feelings for you. I can't hold them back any longer. I love you. Really? That is a surprise. I did not think you were an ardent follower of Sepho. But if you wish to indulge your curiosity with me, I would not mind. You are my best friend after all. I would deny you nothing, my dear Miyuki. Oh my. So saying, Ku dips her head, then presses her mouth at Miyuki's. Ah. Miyuki sighs into the kiss, seeming to abandon all the common courtesy and all common sense too. She winds her arms above Ku's waist and draws her in closer, her dark eyelashes melting together. Things are getting pretty raunchy. I don't think I can stay here a second longer. I need to get some fresh air, and maybe I could use some of Ku's fancy French holy water too. It might be the only thing that can calm me down. Oh boy. Let's see if the chat's working yet. Hello. Jeez, what was that all about? I walked through the hallway of the karaoke parlor, my hands hooked into the pockets of my pants. It's been a few minutes since I escaped from the confines of our private booth, but I can't get the image of Ku and Miyuki intertwined from my mind. It feels like it's been embedded upon my retinas, tattooed almost. Yeah, I gotta figure out Nightbot's issue with that. Okay. They looked appealing, yes, but I have to wonder why Miyuki was so brazen. She'd never do something like that under normal circumstances. Could the grape juice really be to blame? I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. I don't think Ichigo meant to order alcohol, but it's a possibility the staff here got our orders mixed up by mistake. Miyuki's not the only one who was acting strange either. Ichigo was too. I can foresee, even with the aid of a crystal ball, that Ichigo will run through her energy reserves, belting her way through dated pop hit after Pop hit, and then she'll collapse in a pile of sweaty limbs. Will I have to carry her all the way home? I hope not. Ichigo's not particularly heavy, but she's not feather light either. Jeez, what a pain. My shoes stud against the tile floor as I walk down the hallway. The lights are bright, and they sting my eyes after the darkness of our booth. The hall's pretty narrow. It's lined with doors, which are supposed to be soundproof, but I can still catch faint strains of music wafting from them as I walk by. It's a cacophony of bright, bubbling pop, driving rock, and even enka. Now that throws me off for a loop. Who wants to come to the karaoke parlor to sing enka, of all things? It's so old-fashioned. Maybe a group of middle-aged moms have booked the particular room. If so, good on them. Moms deserve to have hobbies too, beyond raising their children. The hallway's pretty cramped and narrow, but at least it's cool. The AC is on full blast and it ruffles my hair. I make my way to a vending machine slotted into an alcove beside a gently dying potted plant. The vending machine is damp with perspiration, and it's humming like a little too loudly. I wonder how old it is. Judging by its depiculated appearance, it might be a few years older than I am. I'm not sure if I trust it with my money. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it eats it. Should I go back to the karaoke booth and order a drink over the phone? I guess I could always go to the front desk, too. But after the grape juice fiasco, I don't really know if it really trusts the drinks at the place. I don't want to get hammered like the rest of my friends. It's true enough that Ku looks fine, but Ku's always fine. Her demeanor never changes. I bet she's the sort who can down shots without feeling the slightest bit woozy. I wonder if that's because of the spirits. Perhaps they can protect her from getting drunk. I don't have any spiritual protection myself. I'm hopelessly banal. This vending machine is probably the best options I have, if I'm going to play it safe. I stand by the machine for a while, basking in the cool air. I turn my options over in my head when... My, this is quite the surprise. It is lovely to make your acquaintance once more, Mr. Yakayami. Hee. Ah, I start, my shoulders tense. I recognize that voice. Could it be Rina? Yes, indeed, you are correct. Rina smiles at me in greeting, then bows her head. As always, she's behaving like a perfect young lady. Her hands folded together at her front, her long hair tumbled about her shoulders. Her smile is enhanced with a peach-colored gloss, which makes her lips look full and voluptuous. I can't help but be reminded of that time on the beach, when she pressed her mouth to mine. You kissed her, you prick. I don't have any fond feelings towards Rina, and it's quite the opposite. But that kiss really was something. For a woman who acts so ladylike, she's awfully bold. Hello, excuse me. Hast thou forgotten about this dark one? Why art thou not paying this dark one on the heed she so rightfully deserves? Hasaki glowers and sticks out her chest, hands on her hips. Of course I should know she'd be here too. Wherever Rina goes, Hasaki follows. The two are practically joined at the hip, even closer than a pair of conjoined twins. When have I ever seen them alone? It is very rude for a mere plebeian such as thyself to ignore an exalted being of my caliber, who has been chosen by the dark god. Thou ought to show me more respect. Now kneel down and lick my boots. Perhaps I will forgive you. Kuha. Jeez. I sigh. Rita's troublesome enough on her own, but Saki's even more so. I swear this girl is more delusional than Ku, and that's saying something. She's a lot louder than Ku, too. My eardrums were only just beginning to recover after the abuse Ichigo subjected them to, but now they're starting to ache again. Are you still playing at being some sort of demon lord? I pull a face. Life isn't a fantasy story, you know. I am not playing at anything, foolish mortal. Know thy place. Do not presume to talk back to a great one such as I. I possess more power in my fingernail than thou dost in thine entire body. If I willed it, I could char thy bones into ash where thou standeth. Sure, whatever. No, not whatever. Hasaki marches towards me, her heeled boots stomping against the floor. Show me respect right now, or else. Else what? Thou shalt regret it. Thou in thou in thy in oh god entourage of fools, entourage of fools. Thou wouldst not wish for me to make thee cry, would thee? Hisaki Shrill's voice is making me want to cry already. She has me pressed up against the vending machine now, the curve of my back kissing its exterior. The vending machine is very cold, and I shiver. This girl has no concept of personal space. Rita. I look over Hisaki's shoulder to meet the eyes of the more sensible member of the kooky idol duo. Can you make her stand down? I'm afraid she'll bite me. How rude. This dark one is no dog. I am the chosen one. It should be alright, Mr. Yakayama. Rita reassures me while I smile, with a smile. Hisaki might be a brash, reckless sort of girl, but she doesn't bite people. Not very often, at least. How often is not very? Well, no. Rita cups her cheek with one hand. I would say it occurs once every month, if that. Every month? She used to be worse about it, but she has since improved. She has become much better at controlling her temper. I don't know if biting someone once a month is anything to be proud of. It sounds deranged, if you ask me. Then again, Hisaki clearly has something wrong with her. Maybe there are worms in her brain. Why Rina goes along with all her antics, I'll never know. They must be good friends. Either that or Rina likes having Hisaki around so she can look down on her. Can you get her away from me, please? This position is pretty uncomfortable. My, don't you like having Hisaki's body pressed against yours? Not really. But why ever not? She's adorable, do you not think? I love how intense she is. If Hisaki was pinning me against the vending machine, thus, I certainly would not object. I would be honored, in fact, to be one of her subjects. Hee. Right. I've suspected this for a while, but it seems like Rina really does regard Hisaki as a pet. Their relationship's kind of screwy, huh? Personally, I would advise you to go along with Hisaki's little stories. Stories? Isn't that as good as calling them delusions? It is the easiest way to placate her. Geez, it's really the only option available to me. I wonder what I should do. I'm going to do the play along. I'd like to refute Hisaki's non-sensual claims with cold, hard logic, but that never works. She's impervious to it. Maybe Rita's right. I should humor her. That's the path of the least resistance. I guess I'll have to give it a shot. I apologize humbly, my princess. I pressed one hand to my chest, then dropped Hisaki a bow. I failed to see how special you are, and afforded you great hurt. Now the scales have fallen from mine eyes, however, and I recognize my mistake. You truly are the chosen one, and dark magic runs through your veins. Your powers are greater than mine, and I tremble before you. You have my unearning respect. Coo, that's better. Hisaki giggles and takes a step back. Finally, I'm free. I step away from the vending machine, then adjust my clothes. My shirt feels cold, and it's sticking to my back with perspiration. It's not a pleasant feeling. Thou really shouldn't have spoken thus before, though. Hisaki peers at me, her arms held at her sides. Compliance is key. It will spare thee a good deal of trouble in the future, boy. I'll try to keep that in mind. Please do, for thine own sake. I am benevolent, but I do not abide those who mock me. If thou were to incur mine wrath further, I wouldn't be obliged to punish thee. Do not think that I want this to come to pass, however. Thou may be hard-headed, boy, but I think thou wouldn't make a good subject after thou has been broken in. One day I shall see to it that thou shalt wait on me, then as Rina does. Thou can be my attendants. I will protect thee, and thou shalt be spared from the fiery pits of death, destruction when the catalysm inevitably arrives. Kuaha. Oh yes, that does sound lovely. Let us make our own paradise together, while the world's burned down around us. What do you say, Mr. Yakayami? Now he does she Now how does she want me to reply to that? Misaki and Rina are talented idols. That much is indisputable. But they're both nuttery than a squirrel's store cupboard. Anyway, I think it's best to change the topic. What are you two doing here exactly? I can't shake the uncomfortable feeling that they might have been following us. Were they there on the beach too when we were filming our music video? I didn't see them, but I wouldn't put it past them. They seemed determined to make my life miserable. Oh, we just happened to be in the area, and we thought would stop by. We only wanted to practice our singing, really. Yes, indeed. We're training our voices, so that our voice may be reached the heavens upon the arrival of Judgment Day. We grace this domicile of music with our presence regularly for such an occasion, for that is what the Black Lord hath commanded me. I am his daughter, and it is throughout my guidance mankind may be saved from its manifold sins. Kuha. I sigh. I'm too tired to even try to interpret what Hasaki is babbling about. So it was just coincidence? A fortunate one indeed. At least that's one weight off my shoulders. Well, if you've got nothing nothing to talk about, I'll take my leave. I turn ready to depart, but no, not so fast, boy. Misaki reaches out, quick as lightning, and seizes my wrist with her hand. She's a good deal shorter than I am, but her grip is surprisingly strong. Thou art not to go away. I did not give thee permission to leave. Turning your back upon this dark one shall come with grave consequences. I warned thee, but thou refused to attend. She smirks. Thou really must want me to punish you. Thou art such a masochist. Masochist? What? Of course I don't. Don't be foolish. I'm going back to see Miss Shinanomi, Miss Suzuki, and Miss Yamashori? Yes, I did assume that would be the case. How do you know that? It was apparent. You four are always together. You must be very close. I am glad you have so many friends, though. They are not girls I would personally choose to extend my acquaintances onto. Still, I cannot fault you for spending time with them. What the four of you do together is none of my concern. At least I wish that were the case. Rina's brow furrows. But it's clear to me that those girls are determined to cling to their dreams of ascending to idolhood. It is a worthy dream indeed. I myself aspire to stand upon a glittering stage, but it is not at all practical. One cannot simply acquire the skills needed to become an idol through sheer hard work and effort. It is an innate talent. Some are born with it, such as Sasaki and myself, while others are not. It is unfortunate, but it is the way of the world. Yes, indeed. Sasaki's fingers grip my wrist even more tightly. Her nails, which are painted black, dig into my skin. This dark one can divine with mine omnipresent gaze that those little girls thou once covered with are quite useless. They shall never ascend to the dark stage, no matter how they try. They may cry and counterwall, but their effort shall be for naught. My powers are so great that they would tremble before me, their words stuck in their throats like stones. Kuha. Ku. What are you saying exactly? Only that they should give up this foolishness while they can. Rina answers without missing a beat. Her general smile does not waver at all, while her hands folded still at her front. With her perfect poise and that sweet smile, she looks just like a princess, but beneath her sweet facade, there beats the heart of an uncompromising demon. I think she might even be more disturbing than the self-proclaimed Dark One, Hasaki. To be blunt, the little group you preside over, Sweet Shoreline, I believe it is called, is more akin to a group of children in crèche than genuine idols. They have made some progress, it is true, but it's not enough. Huh? That can't be. We all work so hard. I am aware of that. You have put in so much effort. It is enough to bring tears to my eyes. I commend you all all your hard work. But it is pointless. I know you have been working on filming a music video with intentions of uploading it online. And I also know if it continues to forge forth with your plan, you will receive nothing but ridicule. Your efforts will be torn to shreds. Yes, indeed, humans are like vultures. When they smell its blood, they descend upon it with their beaks and talons. Only a dark one such as I, blessed by the evil king, can rise above their scrutiny. The malevolent whispers of the masses do not bother me, but I doubt the same can be said to hold true for thy and thine. And thy failure is inevitable. If thou perishest in its foolishness, thou shalt all get hurt. That is why it would be better if thou were to delete all of the footage they filmed together. What? No way. My fingers are curled so tightly my knuckles pop. It reminds me of the old days when I was still a gang member, a ne'er-do-weller who got into all sorts of pointless fights. I bruised and bloodied my knuckles dozens of times on the face of men I'd never met before. I had no personal quarrels with them. I fought them because it was exhilarating, that was all. Looking back on it, it was a truly empty kind of existence. I felt unfulfilled, so I threw myself into gang fights without giving my own safety any thought, or the safety of others. I pushed my friends away, and I terrified my parents. The only person who had any modicum of faith in me during those times was Ichigo. That's particularly because of her influence I was able to recover. Since then, I vowed I would never raise my fist to anybody ever again. But Saki and Rina are making that quite hard. I've never hit a girl before, but they're trying my patience to the limit. That's an awful thing to say. You don't know what that'll fail until we try, and neither do we. Please, tell me you aren't being serious. But I am. I am being very serious, Mr. Yakayama? Rina smiles sincerely, without a trace of malice upon her face. Malice. I want you to delete all the footage so that it may never see the light of day. You will be unable to edit that music video, and the girls of Sweet Shoreline shall be unable to debut. All your work will be erased, yes? But in the long term, it should save you a good deal of pain. I am suggesting this for your own sake. Delete the footage. Erase it from this existence. Remove all of it. Banish it from the world. Then you can never be mocked for your efforts. Your happiness shall be protected, and peace will remain. No, I won't. We all work so hard. And that work will be torn to shreds. Do you want to see Miss Suzuki cry? Or Miss Shinanomi? What about Miss Yamashori? If you truly care about your friends, you would do everything in your power to protect them. And that includes sabotaging their own efforts so they can never know the strings of disappointment. You have your camera in your bag, do you not? Rita glances at the messenger bag stuck over my shoulder, a thin smile upon her lips. Why don't you hand it to me? I can delete the footage for you, if it's too high of a hurdle for you to overcome. I am a generous woman, you see, and I do not wish to make this harder than it already is. I understand that you are suffering, but I can end all that. You need only obey me. Submit to us, boy, and cease your fruitless efforts. Rita and I shall erase the recordings of thy frantic scrambling, and in so doing free thee from all the self-imposed obligations. Finally, thou shalt be at peace. Now, boy, bow thy head. Know thy place. Thou shalt never surpass us, so do not bother. This farce ends now. I'm not sure how to respond to this. It's all very sudden. Neither Saki nor Rina have struck me, but their words feel like physical blows. I've taken so much damage, my soul is starting to splinter. It would be easy to wave aside their warnings, but I can't ignore them that easily. I'm starting to wonder whether they have a point. Could they have a point? This could be one big mistake. What should I do? I think about Hazaki and Rina's offer for a few moments, and then... No, I'm sorry. I shake my head. I cannot go through with that. You can ask as much as you like. Heck, you can even get on your hands and knees and beg me. But I'm not going to give you the camera. And I'm definitely not going to let you delete this footage. I'm not going to let you trample all over our hard work. What? But Mr. Yakayama. Rina appeals to me, her hands clasped together at her front. I don't think you understand the reality of your situation. There's nothing wrong with being optimistic, but in this case, I fear your optimism will harm you. Your unpolished singing and dancing shall not bring anybody happiness. It will invite only mockery. Let people mock us, I don't care. I'm proud of what we've accomplished, even if nobody else is, and I'll never feel ashamed of what we've done. I'm not going to let you talk me into betraying my friends. Irk. Masaki pulls a face. So thou art invoking the power of friendship? That is such a cliche. It makes even this dark one feel like being sick. But thine eyes shine with such determination. My powers cannot get through to thee. Hast thou become impervious to mine enchantments? Mine magic is all in vain. Thou must stop him, Rena. Thine heavenly tones, coupled with my demonic ones, may be able to sway him yet. We can still prevent this tragedy. Mr. Yakayama, please. Rita tries to entrance me once more, but I've had enough. I've given these two more than enough of my time as it is. I let them judge me, insult me, and look down on me. But now I'm finally going to take a stand. Sorry, but no can do. I've made up my mind. You're not getting your hands on this camera, and that's final. Now why don't you stop struggling around like ants and leave me alone? I've grown tired of all your nonsense. I give the two women a diverse look. You might act like you care about me, but I know that's a lie. You're not my friends. My real allies are waiting for me. I've been away for way too long for as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me. I brush past them, my head raised, shoulders squared. This conversation is over. When I arrive back in the karaoke booth, I find it in the state of disarray. There are snacks strewn across the floor and the empty glasses of grape juice. I'm still not sure if that ever contained real grape juice or not, are lying on the table. A moody ballad is playing from the speakers, but the microphone lies discarded by the glasses. Nobody's singing. Miyuki is slumped against the couch, her head hanging, her face obscured by her dark hair, but I think she might be asleep. Her chest is rising and falling regularly, but she doesn't lift her head even as I enter the room. Ichigo, meanwhile, is leaning against Miyuki's side. Her head rests upon her shoulder, her long golden hair brushing against Miyuki's cheek. If this is at all ticklish, Miyuki doesn't respond. They're both out like a light. And to think, I told the Saki arena in a peak of self-righteousness my real friends were waiting for me. So much for that. I sigh, but I can't feel too upset by this turn of events. Miyuki and Ichigo both look peaceful sleeping together like that. They remind me of newborn kittens curled up in a blanket, sweet and helpless. I've seen Ichigo sleep on numerous occasions, so this is nothing new. I've even carried her to her bedroom, bridal style, in the past, and laid her down on her bed. I've not seen Miyuki in so vulnerable of a state before, though. Miyuki looks stoic and serious 9 times out of 10 when she isn't pinching a fit or losing her temper. But right now she looks entirely at her ease. The tension is gone from her shoulders and her brow is smooth, devoid of furrows. Miyuki sighs softly in her sleep and shifts. Her cheeks rest against the crown of Ichigo's head, while her dark tresses snake over her shoulders. I smile. This scene is so precious. I kinda want to take a photo of it. I don't think Miyuki would like that, though. She takes her appearances very seriously, and she doesn't like showing weakness. I wouldn't want to make her uncomfortable or angry. I guess I'll have to burn this scene into my retinas instead. I'll take a mental snapshot of it, then file it away with the rest of my memories. I can put it next to my memory of Miyuki stroking a cat on the steps of the Seaside Cafe, and of the big smile she wore when she went down on the water slide for the first time. Now that I think about it, I've spent a lot of time with these girls, haven't I? We've shared many happy moments, and over the summers we've grown very close. I'm glad I can call them my companions, and I know as I look at Miyuki and Ichigo, sleeping faces, I made the right decisions. I could betray them not after all we've been through. They would never forgive me, and I would never forgive myself either. Knowing Ku, she'd probably set her wicked spirits on me for revenge. They'd torment me over the deleted footage until the day of my death. Speaking of Ku, Nagoya. Ku greets me with a small nod of her head. She isn't asleep like Ichigo and Miyuki. She's alert, as always, sitting up on one of the plush couches, her tarot cards fanned out in her hands. She must have been consulting the cards. Their decorative fronts are lit by the music video playing on the TV screen. It's pretty dim in here. I hope she wasn't straining her eyes. In any case, she puts the cards away upon seeing me. I take a seat beside her, careful not to jolt Ichigo's elbow. Were you alright by yourself? Ku nods. You weren't bored? She shakes her head. How long have Ichigo and Miyuki been asleep? A while. They passed out shortly after you left on your expedition. I did not mind, though. I had the cards to guide me. Did they tell you anything interesting? Another nod. Like what? We have endured many hardships, but the fates have seen fit to reward us in the future. We will be justly compensated, and all of our efforts will pay off. Really? That's good. Do you think Sweet Shoreline's first single will be a success? I cannot confirm or deny it. The future is mutable, like water. It is in a consistent state of flux, forever changing. The cards were reassuring, though, as we the spirits. One who have been blessed by the spirits, such as myself, is never alone. But they do not always tell me positive things. Often they are dour and gloomy. It is expected, given their own sad fates. They met unhappy endings, but even they wished the best for us and our future endeavors. They said they would support us. Does that make them our first fans? Being cheered on by a bunch of incorporable spirits does not sound kind of freaky, but at the present, I'd be glad for any well wishes. The Saki and Rena words shook me more than I'd like to admit. I was able to ignore their temptations, but a handful of worries remain. What if our best efforts are for nothing? It's always a possibility, regardless of what cards and what sequence Ku might have extricated from her pouch. Nobody can truly divine the future, but I'd like to believe we have good things coming our way. We worked hard enough, and I think we deserve it. I would not go quite that far, but they wish for our success, yes. Really now? I laughed. I'm surprised the spirits care so much about the affairs of us loyal mortals. They must be magnormous. They are, yes. They have always taken an interest in me. They want me to be happy. Hey, same here. I want you to be happy, and Ichigo and Miyuki too. That's why I'm going to work really hard to edit all this footage. I pat my messaging bag. Into the proper music video, I'll showcase all your hard work, and I'll pull all the stops to do it. Thank you. Ku smiles faintly. That is appreciated. The spirits did tell me you were reliable. Not that they needed to. I have long since been aware of it myself. After all, Ku shifts a little closer to me. She links one slender arm through mine, then presses her chest against me. You were able to withstand the temptations of those two wicked demons. Wicked demons? I blink. Are you talking about Hasaki and Rina? Ku nods. I can smell them on you. Their scent is imbued upon your clothes. They tried to work their dark magic upon you, but you overcame their advances. Their charms had no impact upon you. I'm surprised you got all that from my scent. I picked up a fistful of my shirt and bring it to my nose. I sniffed, my nostrils dilating, but I cannot detect anything unusual. Do Hasaki and Rina smell bad? They do. Ku nods determinedly. Their scent might not be detectable to normal human noses, but I am not a normal human. I am sensitive to even the stubblest of changes. Not that there is anything subtle about those two. Those girls are rotten to the core, and their auroras reflect that. A wicked stench emanates from them. It's like carrion. I can smell them the moment you returned, though it is stronger than ever now. It is most unpleasant, but your own scent helps offset it, so you needn't worry. You could smell like rancid bacon, and I would still want to hold you thus. You are a good, kind man, and nothing can change that. Well, thanks, I think. I don't know if I'm that great, but you're right about a few things. I did run into Hasaki and Rina in the hallway, and they did try to talk me over. They said Sweet Shoreline was doomed to be a failure, so I should delete all the footage that was filmed on the beach. They said it would be for the best. They spoke as though they cared about us, but I'm sure it was a lie. They just want to get rid of their potential competition. I agree. Ku nods. It was clever of them to play on your desire to help your comrades. They tried to use your caring nature against you, but it did not work. You resisted. I had to resist. What they proposed was unworkable. Deleting that footage isn't my decision to make. I'm not the one who filmed it, but I'm not the one who danced and sang my heart. I'm the one who filmed it, but I'm not the one who danced and sang my heart out. If I erased it, it would be the same as erasing all the hard work you and the others have done. I respect you all too much for that. I did think a second reader might try to trick you. They are underhanded. I would not put anything past them, but I was not worried. I knew you would be able to see through their scheming. I trust you, Naoya. Ku let her hand rest upon my shoulder. She sighs, her warm breath tickling the curve on my neck. She's so close I can hear her heart beating in tandem with my own. When I am with you, I know that I am in good hands. You will always stand by us, no matter what. You are hardworking, earnest, and reliable, and I really have grown fond of you. Ichigo and Mayuki awake about half an hour late after my heart-to-heart with Ku. Ichigo insists on singing even more songs. I can still keep going. But she looks exhausted. Her hair is all messy, and she can't stifle her yawns. I'm afraid she'll pass out again if we stay in the karaoke parlor, so I decide to make an executive decision. Sorry, Ichigo, but I think you've played around enough for one evening. We've been here for hours already, and it's dark outside. It's time we went back home. What? No way. Ichigo pouts. I want to sing even more. Denied. But I've got practice if I'm going to be an idol. If you want to be an idol that badly, you should know you ought to save your voice. If your music video is a hit, you'll get a lot of fans, and they'll expect you to be in peak condition when you perform. I don't want you ruining your vocal cords. Boo. Ichigo pouts. Since when did you become my vocal coach? Since the day you decided you wanted to become an idol. I can't sing and dance along with you. Who'd want to watch that anyway? But I can look out for you and keep you safe. That's my job. Among many, many others. I'm a vocal coach, a cameraman, and a video editor all rolled into one. You should listen to Naoya. Ku comes to my defense, her voice placid as per usual. He's not a spirit, and he cannot tell the future, but he does care about you. You matter a good deal to him. Really now? Ichigo giggles shyly, and presses her index fingers together. If this is for my sake, I guess I can comply. I could still sing a whole bunch more. Sure she could. She's swaying and slurring her words even as she protests, her eyes half-lidded. But if it make me worry, Naoya, I'll be a good girl. I'll go back home with you and get a whole bunch of shut-eye. As an idol, I need my... Ichigo yawns. My beauty sleep. Mumble under her breath, Ichigo lets her head fall against my shoulder. Her eyelids flutter shut, and she sighs. Has she fallen asleep again? How shameless. Miyuki watches us. Arms folded, she looks similarly sleepy, and her clothes rumpled. She yawns, but the pout on her face remains unwavering. Must Ichigo be so touchy-feely? She's all over you, like ants on a drop popsicle. She's my girlfriend. I don't really mind, I'm used to it. Used to it? Miyuki's face burns. Do you mean to say that she snuggles up with you all the time? That's just her way. We've been friends for ages, so I guess she feels comfy with me. I'm glad she likes your company, so, to be honest, I do, too. But there are certain lines which should not be crossed. She ought to be more cognizant. That's a fancy word coming from a girl who's half asleep. Of the fact that you are a man and she's a woman. Members of the opposite sex should not cling to one another. So, not in public. It's not exactly public. We're in a karaoke booth. Nobody can see us. Besides, I grin. It's time to unveil my hidden weapon. You're hardly one to talk, Miyuki. You were cuddled up on Ichigo even more intimately than I was a few minutes prior. What? Miyuki's face burns red. That can't be true. I would never be so sloppy. It is true. I saw you. You passed out next to Ichigo with your head on her shoulder. You were all cuddled up. I swear I even saw you grope her. No. Miyuki cuts Ku off before she can finish this rather interesting account. I wouldn't do that. It never happened. You're lying. You can believe that if it makes you sleep easier at night. But I shall always know the truth, though you care not to admit it. I know you can't sleep unless you're cuddling something. You usually embrace your stuffed toys, but without a stuffed toy available, you had to cuddle Ichigo instead. That is simply the sort of person you are. You can't keep your hands to yourself. No, it isn't true. It isn't. Miyuki buries her head in her hands so as to hide her mortification. Her dark hair tumbles upon her shoulders, which are shaking. You're running my reputation, Ku. You're ruining. You're making me sound like some kind of creep. It's not fair. I'll never be able to get married now. I've sullied myself and must erase myself from this world. What? Okay, I know Miyuki has a tremendous tendency to overreact, but this is ridiculous. She's not behaving at all like her usual self. Not for the first time, I wonder if that grape juice is to blame. Is she really drunk? It would certainly explain her red face. As for Ichigo, meanwhile... Oh, this shrimp rice is so good. One more bowl, please. She's talking in her sleep, and judging by the sound of it, she's having a pretty cliche dream. Am I really going to have to carry her all the way home? What a pain. Fortunately, I'm able to wake Ichigo without resorting to violence. I haul her home, which takes far longer than necessary. She's dead on her feet and can scarcely walk 20 paces without leaning against my shoulder. She giggles all the while and mumbles to herself, mostly about food. So much for feeling fine. She's acting like a sloppy drunk. I let us into our apartment and then carry Ichigo to her bedroom. I lay her down on her bed and shut the door behind me. I don't help Ichigo get undressed despite her whining. That would seem like too much of an imposition despite our closeness. We might have bathed together as children, but we're no longer little kids. When Ichigo settled, I hastened to my own bedroom. I set my messenger bag down to pull the camera from its depths. I removed the SD card and then inserted it into my laptop. It's time to gather all the footage I shot over the last week and bring it to life. As the only one in our little quartet with halfway decent laptop, the ability to properly use it is fallen upon me to edit Sweet Shoreline's music video. Miyuki might look serious and sensible, but she's useless with technology. Ditto Ichigo, minus the looking serious part. Ku is surprisingly good with technology. She did make the backing track for Sweet Shoreline's song, after all, but I don't trust her to edit the music video normally. She's probably put a red filter over everything and spliced its satanic symbol and creepy moaning. I'm the only one who can do this. Our future success is riding upon my shoulders. Ideally, I'd like to finish this video tonight, then upload it ASAP. Checking the clock on my laptop, it's about 22 o'clock. I still have a bit of time before the fatigues of the day hits me. During this window of opportunity, I'd like to get as much work done as I can. I crack my knuckles together, then begin. I've edited videos before, but only as a hobby. I have no professional expertise, but I'm not afraid to learn. I dropped the song Ku made into my video editing software, then combed through the footage for the best takes. I spliced them up, then dumped them into the software along with the song. I worked tirelessly all night trimming footage here, transpositioning it there. I upped the saturation on all the clips so the sky and the sea look blurrier than sapphires, and add various effects, animated borders, lens flares, and particles. I get so engrossed in my work, time slips by in a blur. But when I next check the clock on the bottom of my laptop, it's well past midnight. I've been at it for almost 4 hours non-stop, but the end is in sight. The video only needs a few more tweaks, then it should be good to render and upload to the World Wide Web. I think the video is shaping up pretty well, if I do say so myself, but maybe that's an account of all the caffeine I've been chugging. I wonder if I can trust my own judgment. What would Hasaki and Rina say about this? I'm sure they'd scorn my efforts. But no, I don't want to think about those demons. I shan't give it them satisfaction of psyching me out. Alright, this is it. I psych myself up, slapping my cheeks with both palms. You can do this, Nyoya. Just a little more. Everybody's hopes are riding on your shoulders. And the Seaside Cafe, too. I will save it, if it's the last thing I do. I throw myself back into the project with newfound vigor. One more hour slips by, then two, as I'm fine-tuning everything. It's almost four by the time I'm satisfied with my handiwork. I let the video render, then lean back in my chair sipping coffee. It seems like it'll take 15 minutes for the rendering to be done. I contemplate taking a nap during this time, but I'm afraid I won't be able to get up in time even if I set an alarm. I promised myself I'd upload the finished video before going to bed, and that's exactly what I'll do. I hope I haven't screwed everything up in the editing process. If I need to re-render everything, I think I'll collapse from the lack of sleep. Fortunately, the finished video looks fine. I can't see anything that would require another editing pass. I watched the video 5 times over, my eyes peeled searching for problems. But either I'm too tired to spot them, or this video really is perfect. The song is cute and poppy, and the dance routine Ichigo thought of is very energetic. Ku, Ichigo, and Miyuki move on the screen on my laptop, clad in their swimsuits. The ocean sparkles behind them, and their hair whips about their faces in the salty sea breeze. There are a few tricky points in the choreography Miyuki struggles with, but I make sure to cut to close-ups of Ichigo whenever she stumbles. There's also a problem with Ku's expression, said problem being she doesn't possess one. Ku's eyes look dull despite the warm sunlight, and her lips are pressed into a thin line. She doesn't smile, though, throughout the dance, but her movements are polished. She looks undyingly cute in her swimsuit, too. Her limbs long and white when contrasted with her dark swimsuit. She's quite striking, but she can't compare to Ichigo. Ichigo moves with unsensing energy throughout the dance. Whenever the camera zooms in on her, she's smiling, her whole face illuminated with happiness. That smile of hers is uplifting. It's impossible to feel bad when observing it. My spirits, which were beginning to flag, start to soar anew. We can do this. We can. I mumble under my breath as I log into Sweet Shoreline's hitherto unused my tube account. We made this account 3 weeks ago. So far we've had a great total of 18 followers. I imagine most of them are bots. But I hope after uploading this video the number will go up. Maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic, but I'd like to believe this is the best. Ichigo, Ku, and Miyuki worked so hard. I'm sure the hordes of anonymous viewers out there on the internet will realize this when they watch them. Then, they'll fall in love with them, just as I have. I've watched this video so many times, I can't help but be in awe of their talents. Between them, they've stolen my heart. And that's what we're gonna call it. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I appreciate the ones that will stop by. As you can see, we're working on some things in chat. Remember, if you're not subscribed and you're seeing this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate more than you know. But I must bid you all adieu, goodbye, and good night.